Hey Zen Nation, Shema here, and it's time for another Ask Shema. You guys send in your questions, and I take the time to answer your questions. So let's get started. Here's a question from Aiden, who asks, Shema, if I'm just starting out, how should I begin working with influencers? Should I look for smaller influencers within a niche and forget about the mass market influencers who have massive companies throwing huge amounts of money at them? All right, Aiden, as someone who runs an agency where we do tons of influencer marketing, here is what I will tell you. Start with your goals. What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And I'm guessing you have an audience in mind and you think leveraging influencers to get in front of them will help further your product or goal or sales. And you're absolutely right. So it's not about necessarily influencer size. It's not about if they have millions of followers or, if they're popular YouTube celebs. What's really important is finding the right fit for your product or an influencer where it is a match made in heaven. So if, for example, you have a cooking app, a mobile game that's a cooking app, and you are trying to get influencers to promote that app, you don't want to just find any influencers. You want to look for people who are passionate, who have that audience of gaming, intersection, cooking, interested in that specific topic. So that's really the key, to make sure that it's a good match. The other thing is influencer marketing takes time and really a lot of perseverance and patience. Remember, good influencers, people who are out there sharing good content with their community, they get bombarded a lot with different offers. And the really good ones are going to be picky about who they work with. So just make sure that when you do approach them, that you do it not just from a perspective of, hey, I want you to do this for me, but look at what's in it for them, what's in it for their audience. And for a lot of them, it's more than just about the bottom line dollar. It really has to resonate with their audience because remember, they're trying to build these communities long term, or most of the influencers we work with certainly are. So those are things that I would keep in mind. So go after the ones that are a good brand match and don't worry about how big they are. Some of the smaller influencers often have more of an engaged community than the massive ones. So something to keep in mind. The second question comes from Anne, who says, hey Shema, my boyfriend has an artisanal woodworking business based in St. Louis, and he uses Instagram to get his products seen. He was going to pay for more followers, but I thought I should reach out and ask you how he can get busier and more noticed. So Anne, so glad you emailed me because you do not want to buy followers on Instagram. I repeat, do not buy followers on Instagram. Remember, Instagram, like any other channel, is your chance to build a genuine community. I mean, when you're doing something artistic like woodworking, that's a great opportunity. Some companies, industries have a harder time with Instagram, but this is just perfect. Look at what makes good Instagram accounts grow. It's things that resonate with people. It's the emotion behind the product. So if you are just posting pictures of wooden blocks in the process, that's not really engaging. How about an inspirational quote printed on a wooden block? How about the story behind how a husband is having something created for his wife for their 50th wedding anniversary? There's so much that really speaks to people. And Instagram is a great platform for that. So that's what I would recommend, to start really looking at creating a community based on the stories behind your business, not just the business that your boyfriend runs. Also, artists have a better chance when they have an Instagram account of themselves rather than the business. So that's something also to consider. If your boyfriend is the business, meaning he's the guy who's running the business, it may make more sense to have an Instagram account under his name where he can share his story, his inspiration, and people are a lot more likely to connect with that versus a company. So just a few thoughts for you there. Hope that's helpful. So don't buy followers. Great brand. You guys can totally do this. All right, guys, those are all the questions I had for this episode. If you have questions, ask me. You can ask me on Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn. Choose your poison. We will answer them every other Thursday here on Ask Shema. And be sure to subscribe so you know when we post the videos and you get all sorts of great marketing information. My job and my team's job is really to make your lives easier, to make marketing more Zen-like for you. So remember to subscribe, and until then, market like a Zen master.